Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Loud and very clear, and such a sexy voice, I may
Oh, good. Okay, thank you.
add. How you doing today? How's your week been?
Going pretty good.
No doubt. Now, um, first off, you are a legend. So before she even introduces herself, we get to that point. I'm talking to a legend. This lady I've been following for years. Actually, was a dream shoot of mine. To be honest with you, so this is a big honor for me to interview her.
Oh.
Period. And first of all, let's just go here. Award winning art,
Yes.
what I'm saying, porn star, and two times AVN nominated. Now tell me how that feel to be nominated at the highest level of our business.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It was amazing both times. I thought
Mm-hmm.
the first time was just kind of some weird fluke, but then it happened again, and I was like, what?
And so, and how many in your career?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know.
See,
I
that shows
have
you how much you
no
been shot.
idea. I
That's
have
how
no
much you been
idea.
shot. So, and you've been doing this for some years, man. Period.
Yes.
And the system when they said that a female can only last 3 years. You have lasted way longer than that. How did you
Oh
do that?
yeah. Um, I don't know, to tell you the truth. I have no idea. I just kept going along and never really quit for very long. Took breaks here and
Hmm.
there, but.
Hmm. Which actually didn't feel like you took those breaks because it's kind of shooting that it kind of bridged the gap per se. You feel what I'm saying?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of kept your face in the limelight. So it's all I gotta say is you doing something right. More ladies need to follow your lead, honestly.
All right.
So look, let me get my particulars over with, and then we can get this interview going. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone who's trying to start their own podcasting career. All you have to do is download the Anchor app on your phone or go to anchor.fm today and set up a profile, monetize your episodes, and start making money today, as well as get distributed to all the platforms. And all this is for free. You don't have to pay a dime. So go to the Anchor app, download it, or go to anchor.fm and get yourself a profile today. I'm your host, Calvin Arthur Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. Y'all know what it is. You want to see my porn, you want to hear my music, you want to follow me on social media, go to one place and you find all that stuff. Allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Find everywhere that I'm at with one link. Also, we are sponsored by the Facebook of the LS community people. I'm talking about lsworld.com. I cannot continue to give their praises. Go there, get yourself a profile, mingle with kink-minded people like yourself, and even find events in your area you might could attend to start your journey into the lifestyle. And we also are a proud member of the GW District Black Podcast Network. I'm talking about multiple podcasts that give you the Black experience. And while you're there, you can get some shopping done. We're talking about fashion, beauty, hair, you name it, they got it. Over 500 Black retailers. So go to shopgwdistrict.com, buy Black, support Black businesses, build the Black economy so we can create generational wealth. Now I'm about to be quiet and let this legendary talent introduce herself. Go ahead, man.
Hello, I am Danica Denali. I
Mm-hmm.
have been in the business for 10 plus years, and I'm still
Mm-hmm.
going strong.
And you've been in for a decade, so you've seen the changes of the business in
Yes,
ways that other
yes.
people never have ever seen it. So we're gonna get to that. Let's go to the beginning. What got Danica into the adult film industry?
Um, well, let's see. I was always posting pictures online as far back as I can remember, all the way to the beginning of the internet.
Oh yes, I
And
remember them days.
mm-hmm. And I don't know, the guys in the groups that I was in just kept telling me I need to be posting on pay sites. And
Hmm.
At first, I'm just like, no, nobody's gonna pay me. Like, who wants to pay for my stuff? But
Mhm,
they convinced me to get on a website, and I did, and that's where the professional studios found me, and I guess the
mhm.
rest is history from there.
Okay. So your first shoot with your first
That
professional
was
shoot.
with the score group for XL.
Okay, score group.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. I'm pretty sure that I've had you in some of the magazines because I used to get those magazines. So
Yeah.
that's where I first found you, actually.
Oh, okay.
Um, at the time when you shot with them, did you know how major of a company they was?
Not really. Not until afterwards when like I really looked them up afterwards.
Hmm.
I looked them up a little bit beforehand just to make sure I wasn't being scammed.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when I got back home, I really dove into who they are and what all they do.
Yeah, cause you saw how professional this shit was. You were like, wait a second, these motherfuckers are serious.
Hmm. Yes.
so so let's talk about more about the shoot. It was your first shoot. Um Walk us through your feelings, your emotions, everything with the first shoot and how it went, and
Um,
describe it to it.
it was it was crazy. So I started out only a solo performer.
Mhm.
Um, I was so nervous. That shoot took way longer than any shoot should ever take. I kept the pictures were a breeze. I can do pictures all day long, but once the
Mhm,
the camera started rolling, I kept stopping it like every 5 minutes, and I was like, "Am I doing something wrong? Is it okay? I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do
mhm,
next?" And
mhm,
it just you should never stop production for any reason.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. Because to me, it's like when they do that, it just throws off the chemistry and throws off the flow, especially when y'all getting it rolling.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was a solo act in the beginning, so it was just
Hmm.
me. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, no doubt. So what? So after you did the solo, you moved to boy girl. Okay.
Yeah, a
How
little while later, yeah.
a little while later. So how long was it before you moved to boy girl?
I want to say my third or fourth professional scene
Mhm,
was a boy girl, but I still was not doing hardcore at that time.
mhm. Yes. And at this time, you was most of your solos and stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily content, but you was pretty much on the campsites, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell everybody how the campsites were back then versus now.
Um, back then, so I really only did one, and that was my free cams. I did that for a long time.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
them. Yeah.
yeah. So it wasn't too difficult, but you did have to install like this extra software to be able to run the cam, and then there were glitches all the time. But yeah, that was other than that, it's pretty much the same as it was,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
everything's gotten better.
Yeah.
Better
Cause
cameras,
I
better
even
quality.
Yeah, cause I remember even when I was talking to girls back then, girls made more money with webcam than they did today. But mostly because it wasn't as saturated back then as it was now.
That's very true. Yeah, definitely made more in a short time than what you can make now.
Yeah. So what you were doing the solos, what made you transition to boy girl?
Um, Really, I just wanted to try everything.
Hmm.
So the whole thing that really made my decision for going to shoot with the professional studios in the first place was that I I don't like passing up opportunities. So
Yeah.
this one was basically just being handed to me. And I was
Hmm.
like, I can't say no. That's stupid. Like, who else gets this opportunity ever? So I really should, try to see what it's like. If my first shoot was my only shoot, then so be it. But at
Hmm.
least I had to try.
Hmm.
And
So when you
so
did the
it was the same thing when I moved into Boy Girl. I was like, I have
okay,
to try it. I have to at least see
mhm,
what this would do if I never go back to it again. That's that, you know?
okay. So with the boy girl scene, you doing your first boy gets girl scene. Walk us through it. Walk your feelings, your emotions with that, because like I said, this is different from being solo because now you're dealing with a actual human being versus a toy.
Right. So my first hardcore Boy Girl was with Plumper Pass. And
Okay, who is the talent?
he was Levi Cash.
Okay, yeah, I remember him. He got
Uh-huh.
used a lot.
Yeah. He was so just good in every way. He was so nice to me and walked me through everything and, basically just said, just go along with what he does and he'll take the whole scene. And I was like, okay. He's like, you don't have to
Mhm,
worry about anything. Don't do anything. Just do whatever, not
mhm.
whatever he says, but he's like, I'll take the scene. I'll lead it. So I didn't
Mhm.
have to come up with anything at that point. I was so nervous,
Oh, most
but
definitely. Mhm.
yeah, it went very well.
Yeah. So with that being said, I always talk about this because I'm the podcast that we talk about the stuff that nobody wants to talk about on other shows. And
Uh-oh.
we're going to see, yeah, no, we get because because my podcast is to give people the understanding the truth of porn. That it's not as
hmm
easy. It's not. It's smoke and mirror to a lot of sense. So let's begin. When you did your first scene, how did the conversation come about boundaries? Because I know that a lot of times men and women sometimes they don't have that conversation, and how important it is to have that conversation before you do a shoot about boundaries.
Yeah, it's always come up with me. So the first time um it was like a huge conversation. Basically, he was just like, "So this is your first time?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "So what are you comfortable with? What are you uncomfortable with? What are we not going to be doing today?" Like we went through the whole thing. So that
Mm-hmm.
first one was just perfect.
Mm-hmm. And how did it make you feel to know that he wanted to know your boundaries and y'all had that discussion? Did it help you feel seen and loosened you up even more?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. When you're brand new and you're doing your first stuff, you kind of feel like,
Mm-hmm.
you're being thrown into a lot of stuff at once. And
Mm-hmm.
so for him to take the time to sit down and really go over certain things like that just calmed me. It put my mind at ease
Mm-hmm.
because, all kinds of things go through your mind.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because a lot in your situation, especially when you're going to do pay shoots, you don't get to meet the guy beforehand unless y'all work together prior.
Correct.
So it's
We don't
kind of
we don't
like you,
know. Yeah, we don't know who we're
yeah.
going to shoot with on professional scenes until we get there.
Mhm. So with that, how do guys break the ice with ladies when it's their situation?
Oh, everybody is so different. Sometimes, they'll just come up and give you a little hug and shake your hand and say, "Hey, I'm, whoever." And
Mm-hmm.
then we go over a little bit of what we're going to do. Mostly we go over what we're going to do with the producer though. So with the
Mm-hmm.
photographer, videographer,
Mm-hmm.
director person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, everybody's different. Sometimes it's just a real quick, short conversation, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like a really deep, like long conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Now,
some
be
some of the talent really wants to know like extreme details, like, can I touch your feet? Can I? Is it okay if I put my hands in your hair? Like some of them get really, really detailed, and I like that. That's really awesome. And some of them
yeah,
are just
because
like, okay, no anal, gotcha, and then
yeah,
we move on.
no, good. Because what you don't want to do is do something that's going to make the scene go left and
Mm-hmm.
just kill the vibe. Because once that happens, you can't get it back. It is
Exactly.
hard to get it back. I've been there.
Yeah.
So said you done shot with the top companies. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
explain how what you learned from working with them, how you shaped it to what you're doing on your own.
Um, Definitely it helped me figure out camera angles for
Okay.
sure. Um, and also how long each, part of the scene should be and how long the scene should be in general as well.
Mhm.
Um, but really when you're doing your own content, a lot of that just goes out the window because you kind of just
Mhm.
do whatever you can, basically,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't usually have a photographer on
Mhm.
hand that can just drop everything, you know,
Mhm.
and
Too
come
bad you don't live
shoot.
closer to me. Pretty close to me. See, oh, here's a phone call. Okay, let's do it. Come school. I'm always down for taking pictures and filming, being the cameraman. So,
Yeah.
but with that being said, because you just said that, how do you find your male talents, and what criteria do you use to find your male talent, especially for trade?
With male talent, I only work with established male talent. They don't necessarily have to be somebody who's been in the professional side because that's just not always a thing anymore, but
Mhm.
definitely someone who's experienced and
Okay.
who knows
Mhm.
who knows what I'm talking about if I,
Mhm.
happen to say I don't even know. Like I don't even know the lingo off the top of my head. I just know what to say. But if I have to go
Yeah.
off and explain what I'm talking about
Mhm.
to the male talent and be like, okay, this isn't gonna work out.
Oh no, no, because even to the point that people don't realize the dance between the female and the male talent is a waltz.
Hmm.
With chemistry, with the angles and stuff like that. And I know the one thing that you found out, I want you to speak to it, that did you come in thinking that filming in front of the camera doing a fuck scene was going to be easy? And after you did the scene, did you learn how much energy it takes to do an actual porn scene?
Yeah, actually, I was so nervous my first time that I really had no idea what to expect at all. I had no idea if it was going to be easy or hard or how it was going to work. I had no idea. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was definitely not at all what I thought. I really thought um I really thought that everything was shot like, okay, you know how regular movies are shot, like you do a scene and then you have to redo the scene and then redo the scene again. I kind of
Yeah.
thought that there would be multiple takes and that,
Mhm.
to get all kinds of different angles and stuff, but there's really not.
Mhm. No.
There's really not very many unless you mess it up.
Yeah.
And then you kind of
Yeah.
have to redo it.
Because to be honest with you, it takes more time for the photo shoot than the actual scene.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Definitely.
especially
Definitely.
because with you working with professional photographers, because I see that you stay to a certain level of professionalism and a certain look. Explain to people why you do not defer from that look and you continue to keep have that high level professionally shot porn star look. You get what I'm coming from?
Yeah. Um, I just like to keep it consistent, I guess. But yeah, I don't want it to look unprofessional
Mm-hmm.
unless that's specifically what I'm going for. I do have a handful of scenes that I've done myself that are just
Mm-hmm.
like you'd watch it and you'd be like, "What?" But for the most part, yeah, I like to keep everything really that way. Professional,
Mm-hmm.
classy, done right, the whole nine yards. I really like all of that. I like the way it looks. It doesn't feel trashy,
Mm-hmm.
if that's the right word. I don't
No,
want to
you
offend
said it
anybody.
perfectly. No, you ain't offending nobody. Baby girl, this is uncensored. Say your feelings, say your truth. If fuck their feelings, that's how I do on my podcast.
Aw.
We get way more looser on the Patreon. We're gonna break her on there because we're gonna talk some porn tails on that one. But but the thing of it is that I see that you make it a point to be sexy. You make it a point to present yourself as a sex symbol. And to also be it that you're a BBW.
Hmm.
Um, how important is it to create that allure of sex symbol in this business, and what have you learned creating that? You know what I'm saying? Creating that image about yourself.
Yeah. It is very hard being a BBW to um keep out of the fetish side. I I don't want to be fetishized as a BBW. I just
Mm-hmm.
want, to be like, and when I say fetishized, I mean like um gainers and
I hated them videos. I hated them.
yeah, I don't like that. And dom stuff. I don't necessarily want to,
Mm-hmm.
be a dominant
Mm-hmm.
dominatrix. There you go. Um that kind of stuff that all most BBWs are fetishized in
Mm-hmm.
certain ways, and I try to break out of that
Mm-hmm.
and not be, fetishy, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Although I am getting into the era of MILF, which is pretty fetishy. But,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that because that's what's hot.
yeah, and it's not BBW specific, so
So, which is funny because I was looking at some of your pictures and stuff. It's funny, your tits made you a lot of money, but you have a nice ass. So, did
thank
anybody
you.
even notice the booty?
Yeah, sometimes they do, yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, because you have been on Score, I think you have been on a lot of big titty sites,
Uh-huh.
and it, I was always told that they said titty makes more money than.
Yes, I believe it is for the most part.
Break it down to me. Tell the people.
For BBW, you have to have the big boobs. It just doesn't make sense otherwise.
Mhm.
There are some girls out there who are just, big butts. Um,
Mhm.
and they've made it work and they are doing an
Mhm.
amazing job, but for the most part, it is the boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, because did you ever do the boob cruise for Score?
No,
I I
never got to do
I
that.
said, do they even still do that?
Not at the moment that I know of,
Mhm.
because of the whole
Mhm.
pandemic thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe later. I know they've had a
Mhm.
lot of changes company wide, so I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what they do anymore.
Yeah. So when the pandemic hit, how did you adjust?
Ooh, um, that was difficult. So, the pandemic came just as I had started getting back because I was gone for a little while and then I came back. And I was going to go to all the expos that year and attend a bunch of events in Vegas and Atlanta and New York and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I couldn't. So,
Hmm.
I really had to readjust everything. And for a little while, I just kind of sat around and I was like, okay, that's it. This is over. And
Hmm.
like, I had no idea because
Hmm.
my my husband wasn't working, my kids weren't in school anymore, and
Hmm.
I had nowhere to go that I could make my own content because you couldn't go to hotels either at that point. And
Hmm.
it was just insane. But somehow I pulled myself together around the summertime last year and started getting it. Did a lot of solo stuff.
Yeah. Now that was interesting because I've been wondering how do you girls stay motivated when you doing solos? Because I know that gets boring sometimes. Because not everybody's into dildos.
Yeah, it definitely gets difficult to try to come up with fresh ideas.
Hmm.
It was not easy. Luckily, I was able to finally get into a hotel room, um,
Hmm.
which changed up a bunch of stuff, and I was able to come up with more ideas on the spot. But
Yeah.
that was a very difficult year for all of us, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. That what made me start the podcasting. And actually, I ended up retiring from the porn
Oh,
business. You know,
oh,
period.
okay.
It was just
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the kind of person. If it's pulling me, I'm gonna let it pull me. So,
Hmm.
but don't get it twisted. I might would come out for you though. I ain't gonna front. You a legend. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I would not pass it up. But anyway, I'm just chatting. But like I said, now let's get to the crux of things.
Okay.
Okay, the real shit, because the stuff that no one really talk about. Now you're a lady that been in this business. You
Right.
have a standalone site. You have multiple sites. Please tell everybody the difference, the changes over the year of how we made money on the net. Because you went from
Um,
an era, before you speak, we went from an era where you wasn't considered a porn star, you have a standalone site. Now everybody wants OnlyFans. Go ahead and speak.
yeah, so I agree. You could have your own site, whether you were a porn star or not. But personally, I think what made someone a porn star was being, um, recorded professionally, being put on
Yes.
their websites and their DVDs and put in their magazines when they did
Mm-hmm.
magazines. I'm not sure if those are around anymore.
No, not really.
Um, but and that is so being on the professional sites was what would help make you money in the non-professional world, like the Clips for Sale and the
Yeah.
Southern Charms. That's what I was on for a while, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with OnlyFans, I don't know. Personally, I just feel like there's a difference between porn star and content creator. It's not the same
Mm.
thing. Um,
Mm.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. And
Expound.
a lot of people
Expound,
like,
because I want you to expound on that because
okay,
all the time.
yeah, it's just a lot of people think it's the same, but it's not. There's some kind of there's a professional air, I guess, to
Yeah, I got you.
ladies who have done the professional work, like actual real porn stars who do real work. There's a different kind of air to it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how else to explain it. But I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
with content creators it's just different. They think it's just easy to just set up a
You
camera
get me.
and take a bunch of pictures and, do this guy or do that guy, and they think they're a porn
Mm-hmm.
star. And that's just, I don't think that's right. They're a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same thing. I don't know. And there are
Yeah.
a bunch of
No, no.
different aspects in it too. So like
Mm-hmm.
professionally, we know that we have to get tested. We know that we have to do certain things, this, that, and the other. And that's just not something they do all the time. And so the crossover can be dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's why, for the most part, I only work with very established talent who knows the protocol for the professional side and who isn't just running around, shooting
Mm-hmm.
content with anybody who will say yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even though in some cases, in defense of some of us men, we kind of have no choice.
Yeah, no, I
because you
understand, but
because
see,
we
they're some of them. So I know another girl industry. She's a porn star. She
mm-hmm.
was talking to me about a male content creator not the other day, a few weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
he was over, or he was going to come over to try to shoot some content with her, but then she overheard that he had done a scene unprotected with a content creator who
Mm-hmm.
admitted that she had not been tested. And so
Mm-hmm.
that completely threw all his testing out the window at that point. And so
Mm-hmm.
he got mad when my friend canceled on him
Mm-hmm.
because she heard that and he admitted, yes, that was true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it gets difficult.
It gets
You can't,
sketchy. Yeah.
yeah, it gets sketchy there. That's a good word. Yeah.
It
It
gets
definitely
sketchy. Yeah.
gets
No,
sketchy.
because even to the point of that, like I tell people, your test is only as good as the last person you fuck. So
Mm-hmm.
with that, which is a great segue, speak to how a porn star has to change their personal sex habits to be in this.
Yes. Oh my
Speak to
God,
that.
yes. Okay. Before this industry, I was a lot more free with myself, I guess. Um, I was on different not really dating websites, but different websites or whatever, where you
Mm-hmm.
flirts and stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna lie, I hooked up a couple times with people, but
Mm-hmm.
it just now there is absolutely no way on this earth that I would ever just randomly hook up. I'm so surprised I never caught anything because I was so
Mm-hmm.
stupid. Like, how stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Well, you know they say God look out for fools and babies, so
Right.
we be some fools sometimes. God dang, he be looking out for us.
Yes, I was definitely acting a fool, that's for sure. But yeah, no, now never. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
There would not be any chance. And anytime I shoot with anybody and they had their test, if their test is more than about a week old, I'm like, okay, well, who have you worked with? Were they tested? And who have they worked with?
Mm-hmm.
Did you even ask them? So, like, we've got to go
Mm-hmm.
back like generations of testing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
down the line
Because
to make sure everybody was tested
mhm. Yeah,
or
because I
at
tell
least safe.
people because even you remember this in Hollywood, to shoot a girl that escorted.
Right. Yeah.
You could even if you escorted found on Backpage, you would not get work.
Yeah.
Period. So it's like the game had changed because the game got so normalized. It's
Mm-hmm.
normalized to watch it, but not normalized to be in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
and it changed so much. So if we're speaking
Yep.
about changes, because I get to talk to somebody been in this business as long as I have, speak to how the number of companies that shot BBWs dwindled over the years and why.
Um, I don't really know. For me, it's different. So,
Okay.
in the beginning, I only knew of the two, Score and Plumper Pass. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I was very I don't want to say naive, but I was pretty blind to the whole industry. So I really don't
Mm-hmm.
know what was going on at that point in the beginning. But
Mm-hmm.
now I know that there are many more. There's, the Score and Plumper Pass, and then what else was there? Pure BBW. There's
Yeah.
what Jeff Models and Scale Bustin'
Mm-hmm.
Babes, and there's Great Lakes
Mm-hmm.
Erotica. I mean, so many others shoot with BBW now.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah. No, because I mean, even from my days, remember back in the day, you had the major company that was up there with just underneath Vivid that was shoot BBW, such as West Coast Production, Black Ice, what's the
Okay,
other one? Invasive Angles, period.
right.
Score and Plumber Pass was actually more for the white girls.
Uh-huh.
And then you had the mixture with the people in Hollywood or what have you.
Okay.
But like I said, but also the changes is that one of the things is that the AVN started recognizing you ladies more.
Yes.
When did you start noticing that and you feel BBW wise when that started happening?
Um, so I don't know. So with the AVN, I know that in the beginning when I first started, there was there were no categories for BBW whatsoever.
No.
Even if there was like best tits and best ass, it always went to um a regular girl, mainstream. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that when I came back after, so I took a break in 2015. When I came back from that break,
Yeah.
it was like everything exploded. So there was BBW awards now, and that had just gotten
Mm-hmm.
started when I left. And then
Mm-hmm.
and now AVN now has recognizes a bunch of us, and I'm just like, wow, this is really blowing up. This is a great time to be
Yeah.
in BBW porn.
Because even to the point I was talking to a lady that was from Romania, they look up to y'all very heavy in Europe.
Oh wow, okay.
And she as she was she named you as one of the ones that she looked at.
Aw.
Um, but like I said, how did it feel to been the years, survive the business 10 years, and be looked at as an icon and a trendsetter for the BBW genre?
Wow. I don't know.
I
That's
mean,
a
because you
hard.
technically are. You technically are, babe. Let's be real.
Okay. I mean, I really don't know. I do get emails and messages a lot that says, stuff like, "Thank you so much for doing what you do. I have more confidence in myself because of you and all this other stuff." And I love that. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I'm a very humble person. So
I
I don't
see.
really, I can't really, I just don't
Well, if
know.
you, well, if you don't
I
want to
don't know.
before you, how about that? Toot toot
Okay.
toot toot. Most definitely. So now you've been in the business, like I said. I'm gonna keep saying you've been in the business for 10 years. You a legend in this. There's ups and downs in this business. No one wants to talk
Mhm.
about it. Okay, we about to talk about it.
Okay.
What does Danica do when the money's not flowing right? What techniques do you use to help increase your traffic and increase your money flow?
Um, when it really comes down to it, I still have a family to help support. So if I
Mm-hmm.
have to, I will get like a regular part-time job if I needed to. Um, I've
Okay.
driven I've driven Uber and Lyft. I've done DoorDash and I've delivered
And
pizza
I
for
bet you ran into some fans
Domino's.
too. And I'm pretty sure you ran into some fans too.
And I delivering for
Oh.
Domino's, that one was the best. Nobody recognized me because I in my uniform I have to wear a hat and then the mask, of course. So it was really difficult for people to even
Mhm.
recognize me, but that one was always fun.
Oh
But
my God, that's a scene, people. That's a
I
scene.
know
Danica delivering you pizza.
I didn't tell anybody I worked at Domino's until after I stopped working at Domino's because I just didn't want that kind of
People
attention
have
that
been
I got
ordering
there.
Domino's like crazy. We might
I
get
know.
Danica. What about 10 of them? It's just crazy. So, but like I
But
said, but
yeah,
when the
in
sales is, but
industry wise,
go
you
ahead.
just have to work harder. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would join other malls' OnlyFans and their websites and stuff to see what maybe they're doing that I'm not doing. And
Mhm.
you get ideas that way. As long as you make it your own, you're not exactly copying anybody.
Yeah,
That's my
true.
opinion.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, what's the original idea? Because all the ideas been used up by now. So
Exactly.
the
Right? I
only thing you can do is you
know.
put your own spin to it. I'm like, no matter what. So
Yeah. And you
I did
definitely
a
have to
show.
ask your fans too. Like, what do y'all want to
Yeah.
see? What do you like? What have I done that you like that you'd want to see me
Mhm,
redo or maybe revisit and
mhm,
change up a little bit? So you really got
mhm.
to get into into it with your fans.
So do you do fan meetups?
No.
Okay. Now, why?
Um, I just I don't know what they expect for fan
Mhm,
meetups.
mhm,
So and I could there are other girls I know who do them and I could ask them, but I don't want to offend anybody, so I don't even bother with anything. So instead of asking, my industry friends, what do you do during fan meetups? I don't know. I just decided against it altogether. I'm just not
yeah.
going to do that. I'm not
Well,
going to even
well,
try
truth be
that.
told, a lot of fan meetups is the guys he wants the porn star experience. He wants to fuck.
Yeah, I
Probably
know.
9 out of 10. I
That's
mean,
what
being that he's a go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I have always assumed. And
Mhm,
so that's like the worst case scenario for me. So
mhm,
in that effect, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna do fan meetups at all, and that's just gonna cover all
mhm.
that.
Yeah, because you just met the girl, but
Hmm.
be it that because around the time where the internet started taking over, the
Hmm.
pricing for shoots went down. Cause there used to be a time where girls make 1,000 per shoot,
Yeah.
whether they were BBW or not. I remember that. And when the pricing went down, when girls had to travel, guess what they had to do to make up for getting paid $300 a scene or
Yeah.
four hundred
Wow.
dollars
Three
per
hundred
scene?
dollars a scene. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And these were Hollywood companies now. We talk about Hollywood companies that were paying these girls 300 a scene. And it used to be a time when they were
Wow.
giving thousands, period, which forced them to
Hmm.
have to do escorting. So
Yeah.
You didn't want them to do, you kind of forced them into because you didn't want to pay them what you wanted to pay them because you were figuring. And let me guess, and let me tell you who actually they shorted the worst. BBWs.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's
Yeah.
that would start the BBWs to escort it because they were making 1,000. Then all of a sudden, now we're gonna pay you 300. Now we're gonna pay you 400. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't matter if she was a newbie or not. Which part of the reason why I said Hollywood has always dropped the ball when it came to the BBWs. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See
I
that?
used to do a meetup where like I would just meet someone for coffee or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
but I just stopped doing that because
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot of time. Like I have to get ready. It's like I'm getting ready for a date and I'm like going to meet this guy and then coming back home, and I just feel like I lost so much time in that
Mm-hmm.
meetup that I
Yeah.
just stopped doing them altogether.
Yeah.
And then everybody wants so much more.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I tell people it's just like I talked to a girl that only did solos. I said, when
Hmm.
you take something off the table, you got to compensate and make the other shit way better to
Hmm.
compensate for the money that you're losing for you not doing meetups or you not doing what have you,
Right.
which you have obviously have done for your longevity in the business. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hmm.
So, um, now I'm trying to think what else I want to ask you.
But I'm also, but at the same time, I'm also married, so we
Yeah.
have two incomes. So I don't really have to rely on, my
Mm-hmm.
income as a performer,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Now that's interesting because see that. I was about to say we might not even get to that part with the way this interview going. Part of the reason why I bring the girls back as many times as I do because there's a lot of things that I would like to talk about that I can't get to within an hour. So,
Right.
and you will be coming back, am I correct, Miss Lady?
Yes, absolutely.
All you Danica fans, y'all get to hear it again. Now, with that being said, speak to having that support system at home that allows you to chase this business. Because a lot of people don't
Oh,
have that.
yeah, no, he is amazing. Like, and it's funny because I never realized how lucky I really am and how good I actually have it until I hear from other girls. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, I can't do this because my boyfriend doesn't like it." And I'm just like, "Huh?" Like, I don't understand that. And they're like, "Yeah, I can't, I don't know. I have one friend now who her boyfriend doesn't mind her doing the boy girl scenes, but he's also a photographer. He absolutely
Mm-hmm.
will not shoot a boy girl scene for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't want to hear about it. When she's done, nothing. Just go do your business and then come home and that's it.
That is
Where
fucking crazy to me. That's
I
crazy to me.
know.
But go ahead.
Whereas my husband, like, I mean, he's never had to shoot anything for me, but he would if it came down to it. And
Mm-hmm.
like, if I come home from a scene, he's like, "Hey, how'd it go?" And I'm like, "Oh, it went so great," and I just go on and on
Mm-hmm.
about how everything went and how excited I am to edit that and put it together. Or if it was a professional one, I just tell him everything, and he's like, "Wow, that's awesome." And like, I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think that man feels jealousy. Like, I don't know if it even exists in his body.
Well, see, that's the thing about it is that the biggest misconception that y'all ladies don't have men. Y'all don't have kids. Y'all don't have
Right.
jobs.
Oh, I
You
know.
know, period. Like I hear a girl say, "Well, how can I get a job? I do porn." Apply for it, motherfucker. That's what you do. Yeah, because I be
Exactly.
hating that, and that's why I do this so people can understand. No, we do work a 9 to 5. I work at a rest home doing laundry.
Hmm.
I see. I live it. I work a shitty job, literally.
Yeah.
A lot of.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
I
you
mean, my
talked about
husband,
how.
when his hours got cut at work, he got a second job so that I didn't have to go get a job. I
Mhm,
mean, that's just you do what you have to do sometimes. And yeah, I did have a part-time job
mhm.
at Domino's, but you know, at the same time, he was really working his butt off so that I could stay home and do the porn.
Most definitely. Most definitely. See, that's called a high value man. That's a high value man, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
for sure.
That's a high value man.
Yeah.
So, also with the things you've done, let's see, because you've done a lot of different scenes. Okay. Have you done a gangbang?
No, not yet.
Okay, then. Is that something you plan to do?
It's not in planning, but I definitely want to.
Okay, okay. Oh my goodness. How many? How many do you think you can handle?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I just know
What?
that it sounds awesome to just like sit on the floor and just have like a circle of guys just
Hmm.
come all over me. I don't know. That just sounds amazing to me.
See, now you're making me smoke a cigarette, girl. Stop.
That just sounds like so fun. It sounds so like so much fun. I would love that.
Yeah. See, I did a reverse game bang where I did three girls, but you know what I'm
Oh,
saying, which
okay.
was which is
Yeah.
not as wide open or wild as that of a game bang
Uh-huh.
because you can only fuck one, so you got to be
True.
doing something.
Yeah.
Versus the dudes around you, you suck it, you just go around just suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a dick. We can't do that. We can't just because that's a lot. A lot of y'all ain't gonna just stand there and eat the pussy. Y'all gonna want to lay back and sit on the chair or something, you
Right.
know. But shoot, but like I said, I mean, your career span many years, many
Yes.
years. And the last question I want to ask you is, what have you learned from your decade of being in this business that you can tell anybody that's trying to break in this business?
Um, wow. So, okay, I have helped two or three girls get into the business, and literally the first thing I tell them is to trust no one.
True.
Trust no one because once that person has used you for whatever purpose they need you for, they're just going to throw you away. And unfortunately, that's just how
The business
a
works.
lot of that's how a lot of people in this industry are,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And yeah, don't trust people with your secrets because they will turn around and tell everybody the first chance they get.
Ooh-wee.
The cattiness
Mm.
is just insane.
See, now y'all see why I'm gonna be bringing her back because now she just basically told you that she's gonna be coming back to Patreon because we gonna get very candid. You down for coming to Patreon and get very candid for Porn Tales? But we talk about all very candidly.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. And this is they got to pay to hear this, so it's not gonna
Oh,
be aired
okay.
everywhere. So they got to come to Patreon here, so you can be as open as you want, babe.
All right.
You can vent. You can vent. Or do it. You know what I'm saying? I even talked about my porn beats,
Oh.
and I had a couple. Yeah. So most definitely. So tell everybody where they can find you, gorgeous.
I am everywhere. The best place to find me is at danicasboobs.com, and that will give you every link to everywhere I am on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, and I'm everywhere.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So
Yeah,
once
and
again,
definitely
say,
find my OnlyFans too.
oh yes, and buy her shit. Support.
Please.
Real fans spend money.
And you really get a lot for the low membership price of $7 a month. I mean, everything that's on the timeline stays there and it's all open. So I never delete
Yeah.
anything.
And you're talking about 10 years of content, people. So that's a lot of content.
Well, on
A
OnlyFans,
lot.
it's only a year and a half.
Oh, well, it don't even matter because even whether it's the OnlyFans, whether it's the Summer Charms, if they
Mm-hmm.
go to danicaboobs.com,
Yep.
everywhere. That's the case.
Danica,
See?
danicasboobs.com.
No doubt. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of experience? You didn't learn anything. Smoke that over. Thank you for coming to the lounge, darling.
Bye bye.